All right, another story. This is so Jimmy had me and another friend Jim took his 60s, 5 or 6,
65. I think 65.
Turquoise, real pretty, 60 short bed.
572.
Well, it didn't at the time. It had that small block in it that we sold to John.
It had the 572.
Well, yeah, we put that 572 in it. So his wife bought him a 572 for Christmas. So me and another friend Jim decided we were gonna just swap this 572 out. Which swapping a 572 into where a small block was pretty easy. We had to do some massaging on the exhaust and stuff, but it went right in. This was the 620 horse, not the crazy 700 and some odd horse. This is the factory, like drop it in, hit the key animal.
Fire breathing son of a bitch.
It was. It ran pretty good. It was noisy. Noisiest motor I've ever heard. Just noisy.
You could hear the air running down the rudders.
No, it was
like breathing.
It was nuts. So we put a bigger carb on it, different ignition, big headers, big tube headers, and 77 series Flowmasters to quiet it down. And it sounds really good. So I'm in the truck that Jay built, my garden truck, the one I give my wife, and then I gave it to my friend Cameron for $1, that one. I was in that truck and my wife and I were, so here's the setup. Turn lane, an officer is at the turn lane, getting ready to turn left. We're on Franklin, I think. And there's 2 or 3 cars in front of both of us, and Jim's in the lane next to the turn lane, and I'm in the far lane to the right. And we're next to each other, and there's 2 or 3 cars in front of us at the light. Our lights turned green, the turn lane didn't turn green. And I'm up next to Jimmy. I look over at Jimmy and I was like, hey, how's it going? And about that time, we're rolling up about where the officer is, and Jim's looking at us like this, and we're over here, hey, Jimmy, and I see the cop, and I go, no, Jimmy, no! And Jimmy just, wham! That 572 was right next to that cop. He had his windows down. It was summertime. I think it scared him more than anything.
That's what he said.
And it torched out. Jimmy tears off out of there all through the intersection, just like, 572 in a 65 Chevy truck. It's angry. Gets down the road, and that cop hit the lights, Christmas tree, it was Christmas season, off it comes, takes off, down the street, pulls him over at the gas station. My wife and I just motor on by like, hey, Jimmy, bye. We went by, and I was like, oh man, we're in trouble. So I called him later. He had had like a road soda earlier in the day, and the cop pulled him over and said, like, what do you think you're doing? And he's like, I didn't even see you there. The cop thought that he was choosing him off, like trying to, egg him on to see what, he wouldn't do nothing. So he's like, well, you're not gonna make me look bad, and took him out. He really didn't mean to. He didn't even see the officer. His wife's over there smacking him as we drive by. Jimmy, you idiot! Beating on his shoulder. I heard about that for a long time. He blamed me for that. I didn't egg him on. I don't have a 572 in my truck.
Yeah, but I've egged him on before.
Oh, he almost lost it in front of your house.
I just said, you were going to get on that son of a gun? And he lights it off, goes almost 360s, and then lights it up again at 70. I'm like, I guess he got on it.
Oh, that truck doesn't hook up. It doesn't even know there's tires attached to it. If it did hook up, we would probably lose a day in time, because the earth would rotate like that. It'd be nice.
I never forget, he come to my place and he had these fancy trailing arms, and he goes, I'm going to put these fancy trailing arms on. This thing is going to hook. And I said, no, it ain't going to hook. You're going to have to put 5 fat girls in the back seat.
We forgot to get gas.
I did. You're going to have to put 5 fat girls in the back of that thing to hold it down so you can hook up. And they never did work. You've seen them in action.
Yeah.
They were fancy, all right.
Your house seems to, I don't know how the police don't just sit there in front of your house with all the black marks in front of the street. How they don't know something's going on. Well, a long time ago in a small town, they never bothered us forever.
There was black marks coming out of both driveways.
Yeah, and they would never bother us. They'd wave as we go by. It wasn't like we were driving stuff that people didn't know.
Yeah.
Everything I've had and everything he's had kind of been pretty well known, which is a good thing, because if it ever got stolen, I just would make a phone call, hey, you know my car? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, well, I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Go get it. You know, if you see somebody in it, pull them over. It's mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of, it was a good time. We had a lot of fun.
We got BS and I forgot to stop.
I know, it happens. It's been 17 minutes already.
Wow. Time flies when you're having fun.
All right, kids, we gotta think about something else. We gotta figure out if we're gonna run out of gas.
I'm good for 88 miles.
Oh, well, how far away is what's next? Well, no.
Oh, we got Jerome. We got Bliss.
Bliss, we can go Bliss. Did I ever tell you about the time, the only time the coupe ever died? Ever gave me trouble ever on the road?
No.
Twice. It's only done it twice. Once was a fuel pump, and that was in Hawaii. The mechanical fuel pump just started putting out fuel on the ground.
Yeah.
The only other time that car ever gave me a trip was out here heading to Bonneville Salt Flats. And I pulled into Bliss in the gas station because my voltmeter went down.
Right.
And the alternator died. So I stopped in, get gas, and I couldn't start the car again. I bought a battery there, drove to, where's L&L, that has the wrecking yard over here. Straight up from Bliss, go up this way.
Over to Gooding and up the high desert?
Yeah. Must have been Gooding. I stopped at the auto parts store there and swapped out the alternator.
Yeah.
Put a new alternator in, then headed on to Bonneville. But that's the only time that car ever gave me fits. And I went down through Hagerman's. I love that drive.
You know, I have a story for you.
Okay.
I built a truck for a guy, and he put it all together after I put the clip and everything all on it.
Yeah.
And he did 100 mile an hour all the way to Idaho Falls and back, and said it was out of line when he pulled back, and he forgot to tighten everything. And the tie rod ends were about ready to drop off at 100 mile an hour. I don't know who that guy was. Do you?
Look, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. You could have killed yourself, the wife, and whoever else you did.
Like I said, kids, if you're going to go driving your car for the first time, double check everything. I mean everything. Cotter pins, nuts, bolts, all sorts of stuff.
Well, my mom was a nurse, and she said, don't ever drive faster than your angel can fly.
Well, mine doesn't fly that fast.
That other motorcycle I had was faster than my angel, and I knew better.
I told them. So I may have told them that your mom said that back then. Don't fly faster than your angel can fly.
Well, when you can pull second gear with an 870-pound bike, pull the front wheel off the ground and smoke it.
Uh-oh. Someone's in trouble. See you guys later.